Hi everyone, my name is Voya and welcome to my deep guide. A couple of days ago, update 2.3 for the remarkable platform has started rolling out. I have received the update on the review unit of the Remarkable 2, so let's check it out. Alright, the update 2.3 has been deployed on the Remarkable 2 test unit. I didn't get the deployment yet on my personal Remarkable 1, and I don't have my personal Remarkable 2 yet because I'm batch number 2. But this is where we can test things out. So if I go to settings, you can see that the software is already on version 2.3, and we can check the release notes. The first one that's being listed is the new templates. We have a couple of variations of each of these that were actually listed here. So we have variations on calligraphy, hexagonal, piano, guitar, and bass templates, which are all very welcome. Then the settings overall has been refreshed completely. Nothing new has been added. Literally not a single new thing has been added. It's just been rearranged and visually refreshed. To have those sliders and a little bit rounded edges and things like that. Okay, whatever. But the biggest one is the Calligraphy Pen. So now we get a new brush tool. What they say is it's perfect for adding an extra flourish or style to your handwriting and for working on your cursive. It's sensitive to direction, which means as you write, the line is shaped and thickness will change based on the marker's up and down strokes, but it's also pressure sensitive and angle and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, that's the first thing that we're gonna be checking out. I'm making a new notebook where I'm going to be doing all of these testings, and we can check our templates to begin with. And if we go all the way down, we can see that after the perspective, which was the last one, we now have calligraphy large, medium, then we have music as before, but now we also have bass tablatures, guitar chords, guitar tablatures, piano sheet large, medium, and small, and we have 3 Coney Home hexagonal templates, large, medium, and small. So it's a little bit more than those 5 that were shown, and that's, I think, a very welcome change. Especially these bass, guitar, and piano sheets. I think they're super helpful and a very smart addition. But for now, let's just do a regular lined and test out the Calligraphy Pen itself. So if I go to my brush tools, you'll see that underneath the highlighter, we now have the Calligraphy Pen, and it also has the same colors as before, thin, medium, thick, thicknesses as well. So pretty much everything is exactly the same as far as the setup goes, but as far as the behavior of the pen, well, that's a little bit different. My cursive sucks. I'm just gonna try and do some flourishing silliness things here. Right. But the cool thing about it is that no matter how sucky your handwriting is, it actually does make your handwriting look wait, I gotta do the K again. Let's try it again. Much more fancy. So I'm quite amused by this. I think that's the best word that I can find for it. It looks very pretty. It behaves very nicely. And yeah, definitely the changes in direction and the velocity. This is a very complicated and sophisticated brush. So I think it's a really cool addition. Let's now switch to a different template and use a cursive template in conjunction with the Calligraphy pen. So I'm gonna switch to medium, and this time I'm gonna zoom in. Here is the template, how it looks, and it's very nicely divided that you have the section for the underline, you have the section for, or segmentation for the lowercase, and segmentation for the uppercase, and the flourishes on top. I'm gonna try and write normally, but cleanly. I'm not gonna go totally bananas because I'm just interested to see how does this actually behave when you're trying to write and use it in a normal situation. Let's now try and start from here. Okay, so this is the best I could actually fit at this zoom. So I'm gonna zoom out a little bit so you can see how that looks. The new brush is actually nice, and I wrote just actually nice simply because that's what would fit. But in honesty, I think it actually is really, really cool. Yeah, I think that the feeling is very different. For me, it's difficult to write at an angle here while I'm doing it like this, so I'm just gonna tilt everything. I apologize for the tiltiness, but this is much more natural for my arm when I'm writing calligraphy type of things. So yeah, let's try like this and see how it is in a very real situation. All right, so this is really good for my taste. I'm gonna now go switch to thin, and let's write a little bit in the thin setup. So this is thin, and let's now try thick and see what we get. Alright, so this is obviously too thick, so I'm gonna switch to calligraphy large and use the thick pen and see how it works now. And I do really mean it. Thank you so much for the support and everything, because I really enjoy doing these things. I definitely like how the pen works, how the new brush works. It's very interesting and it definitely requires skill, but I think it's extremely rewarding. Unlike any other, it just makes the writing a bit of an event, which is very, very nice. And it actually motivates me to relearn my calligraphy and cursive writing and all that kind of stuff, and I think that the templates are pretty sweet for something like that. I want to check out the templates, and the music sheet is very normal, so you have your 5 lines. No music key as a default, so you can actually just set up any key that you want, and it's a very nice way of working with it. This is something that I think we had from before. However, base tablatures are very cool as well, because of the spacing in between. Mainly for me, my concern was how much spacing will you have in between. So the lines are very fine and everything, the contrast is good, so I think it's a very nice and readable. So whatever it is that you may be writing at this point, it kind of works normally as it should. The additional ones are also guitar chords. Now the chords are kind of also sweet, or tablatures basically. You have sufficient space between each of the chords to actually write down notes or any scribbles or anything that you might want. So this is a proper way of properly usable type of template as well. And then we also have piano sheet, left hand, right hand, large, medium, and of course small. And the small one fits 6 two-handed lines, the medium one fits 5, and the large one fits 4 lines per page. Then finally we have the honeycomb or hexagonal type of templates. So this is honeycomb large, then we're gonna have medium, and we finally have small, which is also nice and dense. What I do particularly like about the small one is that the contrast and the lines are nice and not pixelated at all. So somebody took care and attention and took into consideration the PPI of the device itself. So there's no pixelations in the diagonals, and that's a very important thing, especially when you have a small one with the diagonal lines here. They don't disappear. Everything is of the same intensity, and this is pretty sweet. Plus it looks really cool. I wouldn't mind having this as my sleeping screen. However, we can't do that, of course, yet, or maybe ever. Who knows? The final thing that I want to check out are the settings. As I said, nothing has been properly changed. It's just been redesigned, and I think it's been redesigned nicely, especially that you can go in general, restart and power off here. It's far more accessible, and you have standardized icons and switches, but everything is where it was before. It's just a little bit more nicely organized, I would guess. And yeah, one thing that I would kind of go for is that these edges should be rounded slightly, that you have like 1 or 2 pixel rounding, simply because everything else is kind of rounded, and this contrast is dated. This is something that has been used before, but this is a dated type of design. So more modern type of look is, if you're going for rounded stuff, keep it consistent, and these boxes need the beveling there. But I am absolutely certain that they will not listen to this. This is just my observation. However, everything else is here. The only thing in the help that's actually quite different is that you now have to go into the compliance statement and the IC statement and all this, especially copyrights and licenses, to get your SSH details. So it's no longer just listed. You have to go to copyrights and licenses, and then you will have everything here the way you want it to. And yeah, the tutorial and restarting of the tutorials and tips and everything is there as well. So pretty much everything is the same, just more nicely organized, yeah, overall. So yeah, that's a sweet-ish type of an update. I really love the pen. It's a really nice pen. I just wish that they would start actually fixing things up and improving things as well as parts of the updates. But then again, you know, fine. If this is like a 2.3 point something, hopefully we'll get like 2.3.1 or 2, which actually introduces a lot of fixes, improvements and things like that. However, within the context of the update 2.3 and the new pen, I really like it, and I really like the new templates as well, because they directly are something that I can use, and yeah, it further improves what we have already available on the Remarkable 2. Now, if only they would unlock it so that we could use it more fully, one can dream. However, the calligraphy pen, I love it. I think it's fun, and I think it definitely has some real-world applications and uses, and yeah, it definitely makes the whole writing feel on the Remarkable 2 with a special pen on a special device. It's like a very nice thing. So maybe we should all dress up in a 16th, 17th century clothing, give our Remarkable pens like an ink top type of dress, and then we start all writing in calligraphy and print it out. Well, you can't print out directly from the Remarkable, but okay, save as PDF and then print out and then put it into a letter and then send it via an owl. Let's go back to normal. Update 2.3, the new pen and the new templates, I really like them. While I am recording this, I just got a notification. Do we have the correct address? The batch 2 is now being prepared for shipping out, which is really cool, because the plan says early October and we're now mid-September, so maybe we get it even earlier. Who knows? Here's hoping. Thank you so much for watching and for the support. The channel has now surpassed 8,000 subscribers. I really am happy about it, and thank you guys so much for the support. It really means a lot. So 10K, end of October maybe? Hopefully, we'll see. If you like the video, please like and subscribe and dingy bell thingy, and see you in the next video. Bye!